Should you be doing back extension exercises? One of the things a lot of people ask me, they tell me that they feel like they have a weak back, and they ask, should I be doing back extension exercises? Well, in general, maybe, I don't know, but after an assessment, what I usually find, majority of people, their back might feel like it's weak, not because it's weak as much as just overused. The spinal extensors, or the back extensors, tend to get overworked in a patterning because it's trying to hold us upright against gravity. And if you think about the architecture of the spine itself, the vertebrae, where each vertebrae is stacked on top of each other, and they have what they call facet joints. The architecture is when they extend, the bone tends to rest on the bone beneath. So it creates compression and it creates a bony stability, a bone-on-bone stability. So those spinal extensor muscles naturally pull those muscles together when our system is craving control or stability while we're upright. So oftentimes it might not be the best thing for these individuals to specifically isolate, if that's a thing, to isolate their back extensors or to do back extension exercises. So some people, it might feel better for them to do that, and in those cases it's usually because they live in extension, so everything feels good within their comfort zone. But a lot of times these people, because they're overly extended and they use their back extensors too much, they don't use the muscles in the front as much, specifically the abdominal obliques, okay? And also their pelvis is in a position that they don't really use their upper hamstrings or even some of their gluteal muscles. So maybe instead of doing back extension exercises, maybe doing more hip extension exercises in general. That may help. Maybe doing more abdominal exercises or abdominal oblique exercises, focusing on training the abdominal obliques in more shortened positions, as well as hip thruster types of motions that emphasize the hip extension movement. So the only times I would recommend people start doing back extension exercises is when they've spent a good amount of time training and conditioning all those areas I just mentioned. And then if it's because of their work environment, their sport, or whatever it may be, yeah, you could do some back extension exercises, but do it way in the end of your workout. So this way you don't emphasize using those muscles in the beginning when you're fresh. So you focus on the hamstrings, the abdominal obliques, hip extensors, and then do your primary movements, and then towards the end, then maybe do some isolated back extension movements.